we're looking forward to seeing some other colored jerseys this week, and obviously we're excited about EKU. I'm sure y'all have some questions, but Coach Wells has been there for some time and will do a great job getting his guys ready to come in here and play football, and obviously we're excited about that. I know our guys are fired up to see something different than same colored jersey all week, every day, and be able to compete and see how they match up. So they'll look forward to that as well.
Coach, your third fall camp with Coach Braum, has there been anything different defensively this year of what you guys have done as a staff in the offseason to get, now you've got so many transfers and so many newcomers. Has there been anything you all have specifically done different to get to this point?
Well, Coach is he's such a strong attention to detail guy anyways, so I don't know if it was anything exceptionally new, but I will say starting immediately when we got back in the office in January, we started breaking down everything that gave us problems, from the past season, and then figuring out real reasons, why did this happen, and then what can we do to make it better, and obviously no matter what, anytime you look at something, you're going to find things you want to do better. So there's a lot of things where we sat around, spent a lot of time talking through the issues. Is there a better way to put a player in a position to make that play? Is there a better call? Is there whatever it happens to be, to give our guys the best opportunity to play fast and to be comfortable doing that. And Coach Braum was hands-on, as well as, Coach English throughout the entire spring. And then, obviously we were on the road recruiting, but as soon as we got back off, it was right back to solving those problems. So we're hoping that that'll show up and be very effective for us all fall, not just this coming Saturday. But, no doubt about it. It was a high priority to fix what wasn't working, to make sure that it, benefits us all throughout the season. And there were a lot of things that we did very well. So to make sure that if there's a way to even do that better, or at least keep those things consistent, be more consistent with them.
When you have a veteran like TJ, who's kind of the leader in your in your room there, how I don't want to say easy, but like, is he another coach almost out there?
Well, TJ, you said TJ, right? Yeah, TJ Quinn you're referring to. This is, this is his 5th year here, and this is his 3rd year as a starter. And I think he's done some really good things in the past 2 seasons, but I don't think there's any doubt he is a really different animal as far as watching him in the spring, but then also, during fall camp. I see him doing things that I don't think he was comfortable doing, either knowledge-wise, personality-wise, or anything else. And now, he realizes I've got one more shot at this, so there's nothing to be reserved about. I've seen him moving some pieces, whether it be our other linebackers, whether it be defensive linemen, whether it be, safeties, just the communication, and they all work with each other in a they're working together to make sure that we get in the right spot when the ball gets snapped, and then when the ball is snapped, that we execute. So TJ has done a fantastic job, and he's never done a poor job at that, but he's definitely done it's a different ball game for him right now. And that's something you don't see as much of in today's world, because players are all over the country in different defenses, on different teams. And anyway, slice it, even a very smart player is not going to develop as he would if he can stay in the same system with the same coaching staff and all that kind of stuff. So I think that benefits him, and in turn it will benefit our defense throughout the year, no doubt.
Mark, I'm curious about the other TJ in your room. He's kind of been slowed by injuries after he got here, but now that he's entering his 3rd year, how's he progressed through fall camp and as game week is here?
Well, he certainly has had some things that have hindered him, no doubt. When he came in, it was well known that he was rehabilitating and rehabbing that knee that first year. And then last year, very unfortunately, he hurt his hand week 2 or 3. I can't remember. It was early in the season, but was really starting to do some good things at that time. But right now, and I think coaching football years ago, you expected a guy kind of to come in and progress and learn. And now I think a lot of times we expect somebody's going to show up and they're going to be plug and play and life is good. But for TJ, I give him credit. There's been some frustrations. Anytime you expect to come in as a highly recruited guy, and in your mind, I'm going to be able to participate and contribute early. But now, I think he's seeing now, hey, I have been in, same thing for him. Now, this is his third year in the defense, obviously a very limited role when you're rehabbing and working. But now he is starting to see some of the benefits of that. And I can tell you this, he is on a day-to-day basis, and I think all those guys are. This is a really, when I say inquisitive group, like as soon as they come off the field, the maturity level is different right now because they're asking football questions and they're talking to each other about what just happened on the field, what's the next call, and that's very important. It should be like that all the time, but to say that it always is would be incorrect. And he's done a really good job mentally of sitting in our room, which is right next door, and every day asking, was that the right way to do it, Coach? Is there a better way to do it? And he does it every day. So I'm expecting big things out of T.J. Capers is the one you're asking about. I think he'll do an excellent job this year. And it's time for him to do so, being his third year here. So.
Well, there's no film on this specific EKU team. This is a program that is coming off an appearance in the FCS playoffs. So when you're kind of watching what Walt Wells-led programs do and what they do well, like what's something that kind of stands out when you're watching film on just how his programs operate? Well,
and other than maybe a coach or two, they've retained just about everybody, so you'd think there's going to be some growth. Now, it is interesting, across the entire country, you're going to see new faces on every team. And, there's no doubt for them, their roster is much, much different than what we've been studying and looking at. But with most of the staff being there, the position coaches and the offensive guys, I think we're going to see some similar things. I'm sure they're going to have some wrinkles. They're going to have some things that they've seen on us where they think, hey, we might be able to get something. But, they do a great job of making you discern between run and pass, trying to make it very difficult not to give you anything easy to where you can just line up and tee off on them either way. They're going to make you defend both. And they've got some really balanced things that they do to make you, to try to put you in a precarious situation where you are stuck in the run and they're hitting you for the pass and vice versa. So, but they do a good job. Now, I'll tell you this, watching them play, there were some games last year where they were down by some points and they came back and won. So, one thing about it, and a couple times it was double-digit deficits, and they just kept battling, and ended up winning those ball games. And you mentioned, I think they won 8 games last year, and in the playoffs, you're talking an inch from advancing, on that last play of the game to the second round and another victory and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know him personally. I've got some friends that are very close to him. I know he's a quality football coach that has always produced at many, many different places at different levels, and I would expect the same on Saturday. He's going to do a lot of things to try to put us in positions that'll be advantageous for them, and we've got to obviously avoid that and continue to play fast and work through any tough times we have during the day, no doubt.